Hey, great day. It's Amanda. Jumping on the scope real quick just to say, I made it to church a little late, but the bottom line is I'm feeling inspired, and the Lord just gave me a message as I was coming here, and that message is God will shut the mouths of the lions in the den of thieves. There's a scriptural reference, and it says, I think the Lord got mad and rebuked the people because he said, you have made this a den of thieves. This shall be called a house of prayer. And he overturned the table in the synagogue. In our present day times, they probably would have tried the 302 Jesus. And I'm not trying to be ignorant, but the bottom line is there has to come a time where you say enough is enough. There has to come a time where you say, is there not a cause? There has to come a time when you say, who is this uncircumcised Philistine that would defy the armies of the living God? That doesn't mean you have to have it all together. Yeah, you can rebuke, but bring restoration. The Lord will perfect those things which concern us, but the bottom line is humble yourself in the sight of the Lord and he'll lift you up. So getting back to what I was talking about, the Lord gave me this revelation of God will shut the mouths of the lions in the den of thieves. Now, these are kind of like intertwining because there was a story in the Bible about, the life of Daniel. And so, they try to put him in the lion's den. This is a very popular biblical story, and it shows how God sustained him through his faithfulness. He didn't allow him to be devoured, even in the midst of impending danger and destruction. The Lord kept and preserved his life. So the bottom line is, the Lord will shut the mouths of the lions in the den of thieves. And don't worry, after a while, with you there, with you interceding, with you praying, it will turn into a house of prayer. So you got to learn how to make everywhere you go a sanctuary. When you enter into this house, say, peace be unto this house. When I go into places, I say, peace be unto this place in the name of the Lord Jesus. Stores, banks, schools, we got freedom of speech, but it's not even about that. You got to learn how to bring God's kingdom to the earth. And there's not to say that there won't be places where they want to make it a den of thieves. On an earlier scope, I was talking about spiritual cannibalism, where there are people who know how to illegally operate on the earth realm through the realm of the demonic. They don't consider their gossip and their slander and their defamation of character root work and witchcraft, but that's exactly what it is. That's the bottom line. It's okay to bring open rebuke, but you're supposed to restore. It's a den of thieves. I won't even attack, what happens sometimes in our places of worship or our workplaces, but, you think you going to work to do your job. You think you going to celebrate the things of God, and then there's people designed there where not necessarily God has put there, but the enemy. When I say the enemy, dark principalities of destruction that want to destroy and corrupt your soul, they set them there to cut you, to tear you down, to sit you in a low place. But in Isaiah 54:17, it says, no weapon formed against you shall be able to prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against you in judgment, you shall condemn it. For this is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is of me, save the Lord. Learn how to open up that mouth and declare that thou beest justified. You got to be on the offense. This is not me against the world, but it is to say there may be instances where you're in a den of thieves, where people are out to get you and out to corrupt you, and it's not a narcissistic way or paranoid way of thinking, but in a time of peace, prepare for war. God is about to shut the mouths of the lions in the den of thieves, because it is a den of thieves. To everything there's a purpose. So understand that. So that's all. I'll probably jump on here a little later, but I wanted to make sure that, I elaborated on that a bit. God will shut the mouth of the lions in the den of thieves. Why? Because he said he won't pervert judgment. Why? Because he said he won't do wickedly. Understand that whatever you're going through on today, God is about to shut the mouth of the lions in that den of thieves. That's not what God intended that for. God didn't put you in that relationship or that alliance or that partnership for people to tear you apart, for them to throw you in the trash, for them to throw you under. But if you know how to pray, if you know how to seek God, if you know how to lift up the name of the Lord, even if you're going through something, then guess what? He's gonna turn that den of thieves into a house of prayer. So stand and see the salvation of the Lord. Until next time, shalom.